Hey guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be doing the hand soap slime that you guys been requesting for a long time. And I went out and got about like 5 different hand soaps, so we're going to test all of those soap out together and see which one is better, which one is great. Of course, there is a lot more hand soap that is out there, so I won't be able to test out all the hand soaps, but the ones that I could test out, we'll see how well they do. I will go ahead and give you guys my overall thoughts about it, so let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is test out the hand soap to see which one has a thicker consistency. But from my experience while doing this, I realized it's not really just about how thickness a shampoo or a hand soap or body wash is. It also has to do with the type of texture or if it's even good to make slime. And I realized like every time I do like things like body wash or even shampoo, the jelly one always does better than the cream one. So after stirring for a while, I realized that the soft soap is definitely the thickest one and the Equate creamy soap is not as thick as the rest. I'm gonna add a little bit salt in each of the soap because sometimes like people add salt and sometimes people add different stuff, but I just feel like in this case I'm gonna stick with the salt method. I think it might work the best, and then I just stir it a little bit and see how it turns out. So I also want to mention to you guys that you only really need a pinch of salt in order to make hand soap slime, and you don't want to put a lot, but for whatever reason I didn't put enough the first time, so I went back and added a little bit more. But again, if you were making this at home, try to add just a little bit. If it's not enough, if you're not seeing any reactions, then go back and add a little bit more. So after I added the second pinch of salt, I started to see that some of it started to come across more like slime, and some of it just really didn't do anything at all. The creamier one, I feel like it takes a really long time before it becomes like even slime like, and the jelly ones were becoming more slime much faster. I went ahead and set my timer to 10 minutes, but again, it depends on what freezer you have. Some of you guys might have a stronger freezer where you would set the timer for less minutes, and some of you guys might have a weaker freezer and you just need to set it for, I don't know, like more than 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, this is what it looks like. As you can see, the Equate one is already becoming slime, and for whatever reason, the Equate creamy soap is not doing good. And it wasn't really doing good even before I put it in a freezer, so it's kind of expected. And then the next one, which is the soft soap one, I was really hoping that this one would do good just because it's really thick, but again, because it's a creamy hand soap, it's also not doing good. The next one is a jelly kind of soap, and I feel like this one is doing just as good as the Equate one. And finally, the last one is the Lysol one. This one actually surprised me. I mean, just look at it. Like all of a sudden, this thing just started to become slime, and I swear to you, before I put it in a freezer, it was not doing anything at all. And it actually shocked me because I didn't expect that at all. But just look at it, like for real. And now that you guys know the top 3 hand soap of this group of tests, I'm going to take each one individually and try to test them out and see if I can hold it in my hands. And this one I'm doing is the Equate jelly-like soap. I'm just going to call it jelly-like soap because that is really the main difference between the other Equate one. And let's just see how it's doing. So one thing I definitely want to mention is that this one I did not put it in the freezer for 10 minutes because I just want to see like how they're doing even without having to put it in the freezer, and I see that it's definitely doing pretty good, and if you were to put it in the freezer it can only do much better. So the next one I'm going to test out is the dial soap, and this one is kind of similar to the equate one, except that this one I feel like it takes a little bit longer when you're mixing it in order to be like the equate one. The equate one just kind of became slime very fast. This one takes a little bit longer, and another thing I noticed is that you kind of have to put it in the freezer and before it even becomes like better. I definitely don't think it's better than equate slime, but it could work if you don't have equate. Like this could also work. And the last one I'm doing is the Lysol soap. This one is very special because I feel like when I don't put it in the freezer, it doesn't do anything at all as far as like making slime goes. But then after I put it in the freezer, then it starts to behave differently. It's just like one of those like special kind of hand soap that just reacts way different than anything I've ever known. And this one is also a soap for an actual dispenser. You have to have a dispenser in order to get the soap, and I didn't know it at the time when I was buying it at Walmart. And then when I got home I realized you kind of need a dispenser, which is the reason why I had to use a stick in order to get the soap out. But if you happen to have a Lysol soap lying around at your house, I would definitely recommend you guys using it to make slime. And for my final conclusion of the hand soap slime test, I would say all three of these hand soap can make slime. The major difference is that the equate one, you don't really need to put it in the freezer, and the dial one, you do need to put in the freezer, and the Lysol one, you most definitely need to put in the freezer in order to make slime. If I were to make a recommendation, I would say pick up the equate cucumber melon. It will be the easiest hand soap in order to make slime. Alright, so that is the end of the video. I also have other slime tests that I've done on my channel. The last one I did with eye drop and contact solution and some other slime tests. And if you enjoyed this video, thumbs it up and subscribe. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!